We're going to look at how to replace inputs and outputs of an existing transform using a new version of the data model. So as an example, we'll use one of our existing transformations that comes from the Swift MT2MX library. To start, we load up the transform. Then all we need to do is right-click and use the wizard here. So today I'm going to show you how to use the wizard, but you can also just simply open the transform in a text editor, either change the references there to point to your new data model, or simply replace the data model itself with the new version, then load up your transform. All of the options will end up with you having linkage errors, and we'll get to that now, how we're going to resolve that. But all the paths will lead to linkage errors that we have to resolve. Okay, so we choose update transforms, and then in this case we want to update the output data model. So we will just select the later version. So as you can see, this comes from my MX library that I installed in my Connect projects, and we'll just go up one directory and then pick the later version, which is version 10. And then we can finish, and you could see it will unload it for us and then load a new one. So the new one is there, and as you can see, it's red because there were some paths that it couldn't resolve, so linkage errors, and we'll see, look at that now. But it also created a backup version for us, so you can always revert back to the backup if everything goes wrong in the new version. Okay, so let's open this, and we can see some of the translations are missing, so we're going to have to go and fix those. So the linkage errors tab is where we want to go, and then we can fix things here. So a few things to note. There are different types of linkage problems, if you like, that we can have. Output types that have been renamed, translations that can't map, paths that may be wrong, and I think that's pretty much the extent of it. So the first thing we want to do is to go and resolve all the output types, because once those are done, then either the paths will be still correct, assuming that the new version, the structure hasn't changed, then the paths of these references will be fine, and we don't need to change it. But sometimes, let's say for instance, this one over here, the group header was maybe moved another level deeper, then if the reference that we've got here would have been PK to customer statement group header, then we just would have clicked in here, update the reference to the new reference or whatever, and then click run to resolve it to the new reference. But for now, I believe we should be okay. All the references will be fine in terms of the paths, but we'll start updating the types, because the names might change, and in this case, indeed, is the case. Just another thing before we go updating those types. Once the types have been updated, and you do get to some of these where the links are unable to be resolved due to the paths that changed or the names of the elements that changed, then you can always have a look all the way to the left hand side. It will tell you at the start here what is the component, usually a local transform, where this translation is located. So then you can find this to account statement in here. There we go, there is to account statement 9. So it tells me that the path that it's trying to resolve is inside here. So you can then go inside here and find it. Say, oops, you can see there's nothing there at the moment. But once these types have been resolved, this will become visible, and then once that is visible, you should be able to see the type hierarchy, the paths that you need to resolve, and that these will attempt to resolve too. And if they don't match, then you can update these here. But just note that the start of this description will tell you where to find the particular reference. Okay, so what we want to do now, now that we have have to go through the output types, the names, and update them. What we need to do is to basically diff, so we're going to see what is the new name of this particular type in the new schema as opposed to the old schema. So for that, I've got it open in my BB edit, so I should be able to just go and find it here, report entry, where is it? There we go, report entry 12, so that's the new one. I think this is the 10 one, yep. So if we just go here and update that to 12, and we'll update that to 12. There's another one there. Let's just see if we don't have any other ones. Nope, doesn't seem to be the case. Then we just simply click run, and you can see they've been resolved. And now the next one down would be account statement. And again, have a look here. I believe account statements all the way at the top. There we go, and account statement is 11 as opposed to 9 in the previous version, so we just need to update that name. I think that's all of them, and we run it. There we go, so you can see it automatically populated this, and also it was able to resolve all the links because we don't have any linkage errors anymore. In case we did have some left over, then we could just come in here and actually browse and expand things to find out what the full path is to where the translation was previously mapped to. Okay, so that's it, and now it's just a matter of saving it, and the job is done. Thank you.